Pero a ver si consigo esquivar un poco este tema hablando de Estados Unidos. Porque el presidente del gobierno, don Pedro Sánchez Castejón, estuvo ayer en la cadena MSNBC, que es la cadena progresista por excelencia de los Estados Unidos, donde nos demostró que es uno de los primeros presidentes de España que nos demuestra que sabe hablar inglés. Decían que don Leopoldo Calvo Sotelo lo sabía, pero a él le escuchamos poco y el resto tenemos claro que no sabían. El señor Sánchez, sí.
Fortunately, we are not having any kind of rejection movement against the vaccination. 50% of our population is fully vaccinated. We're looking forward to reach 70% of our population before the end of summer vaccinated. The major mistake that us politicians could do is to ideologize this pandemic fight that we're facing. So, this is not a question of progressives, of conservatives. This is a public health matter, a public health question, and it's very important to tell our people, our citizens, that we need to be prudent, that we need to be safe.
Bueno, al menos hay un grupo de comunicación donde no están hablando de la guerra civil. Ya que hablamos de la MSNBC, hay que decir que ese programa, Good Morning, no es el programa de mayor audiencia de la MSNBC. Ese programa es el de la señora Rachel Maddow, que es la que estaba tan alegre el día que ganó el señor Trump las elecciones allá por el año 2016.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country. It's real.
Pero aún así, Good Morning es un programa bastante relevante. Es un programa que está presentado por un matrimonio, el señor Joe Scarborough y su esposa Mika Brzezinski. Mika es la que entrevistó al señor Sánchez. Joe Scarborough fue congresista y digamos que no tienen demasiada simpatía por el señor Donald Trump. Durante el tiempo en que fue presidente, el señor Donald Trump no acudió nunca a su programa, aunque sí había estado antes, pero demostró que era muy seguidor de su espacio porque tuiteaba mucho sobre ellos y ellos respondían mucho a sus tweets en el espacio.
But I am very concerned as to what this once again reveals about the President of the United States. It's strange.
We're okay. The country's not. He packed about 5 lies into the tweets, which is very productive, 2 tweets, to pack 5 or 6 lies into 2 tweets. But yesterday was just another example of just how deeply personal he is. He attacks women. Because he fears women.
He has a fixation. He appears to have a fragile, impetuous, childlike ego that we've seen over and over again, especially with women. It's like he can't take it. He's so easily played by a cable news host. Now, what is that saying to our allies? What is that saying to our enemies?
Hay que decir que tanto el señor Scarborough como la señora Brzezinski, cuando quieren, son un tanto camorreros. Por ejemplo, la señora Mika, aunque es progresista, la criticaron que hizo un comentario homófobo para meterse con un conservador, el señor Pompeo.
I understand that Donald Trump doesn't care. Heilman makes a good point. He doesn't care. But why doesn't Mike Pompeo care right now? Are the pathetic deflections that we just heard when he appeared on Fox and Friends, is that a patriot speaking? Or a wannabe dictator's butt boy? Dead serious, I'm asking, are these the words of a patriot?
Pero lógicamente, quien ha sacado lo peor de ellos ha sido el señor Trump.
That's sick. Donald, you're a sick person. You're a sick person. And your lack of ability to handle this massive human catastrophe, the fact that you've made it worse, and that you make it worse every day. Sick, disgusting person.
Creo que afortunadamente en España todavía no hemos llegado a ese nivel de agresividad de un presentador de televisión, ni el señor Ferreras, ni la señora Pastor, aunque quizá ha habido una que lo ha bordeado un poco.
Fascista. Mira, fascista es el que señala al que piensa distinto. Eso no es democrático. Señor Iglesias, usted es un fascista.
Pues don Pedro Sánchez escogió la MSNBC precisamente cuando la MSNBC está de cumpleaños. Y la mejor forma de ver cómo se celebra ese cumpleaños es ver cómo lo comentan las cadenas competidoras. Y me estoy refiriendo a la conservadora Fox News, donde el señor Tucker Carlson, con una línea editorial antagónica a la que puede tener la MSNBC, les dedicó un espacio para felicitarles por su 25 cumpleaños.
MSNBC, the TV network, not the Schedule III pharmaceutical, has a birthday today. That channel is 25 years old. That's hard to believe, especially for those of us who remember the day it was born. And yet, even at this advanced age, there are a lot of misconceptions about MSNBC. The first is that all of its anchors have been accused by a sitting president of murdering a young woman in a congressional office. That's not true. It's a myth, and we'd like to dispel it once and for all right now.
Esa es una maldad tamaño titán. Está haciendo referencia al señor Scarborough, precisamente, el de Joe Morning, que cuando era congresista murió en polémicas circunstancias una asistente suya. Y aunque no hay ninguna prueba que lo acredite, pues sus enemigos siempre han querido dar a entender que a lo mejor tuvo él algo que ver con aquella muerte de su asistente de entonces, entre los que lo ha deslizado alguna vez el propio señor Donald Trump, que lo dijo en un tuit en el año 2020, y Twitter retiró ese tuit por considerar que no se ajustaba a la verdad, lo cual sorprendió que Twitter le censurara al propio presidente de los Estados Unidos. Y digamos que el señor Scarborough no se lo tomó muy bien desde su programa.
Driven by hatred and petty politics, thinking that they were going to hurt me. I'm here. I'm going to be here. You keep trying to hurt me.
Pero volvamos a la felicitación del señor Tucker Carlson.
The second misperception about MSNBC is that it has always been some sort of left-wing revolutionary channel, Leon Trotsky TV. And that's not true either. From its first hours, MSNBC was a purely corporate project. The MS stands for Microsoft, the NBC for what was then a division of General Electric. So the channel began as a merger of business titans, and fundamentally it's still just one big HR department.
Totalmente cierto, Microsoft y General Electric fueron quienes crearon la MSNBC.
¿Cómo podrá competir con la MSNBC que cuenta con los recursos de Microsoft y General Electric?
MSNBC, no me gusta ese nombre, suena a algo para lo que hay que recaudar dinero.
Aunque actualmente ya no son los propietarios. Los propietarios actualmente son el grupo Comcast del señor Roberts, los reyes del cable.
After the 2004 presidential elections, the geniuses in the programming office decided to pivot and make MSNBC more populist or something. They weren't sure exactly what they wanted, but they hired a new primetime anchor anyway. Do you wish now, looking back 3 years, that the press had been a little more vigilant in asking questions about the invasion of Iraq during the run-up to it? Like, are we certain there are these WMD stockpiles that we're using to justify the war? How do you know that they're there? What exactly are you talking about, Mr. Powell, in your speech to the United Nations? Don't you wish the press had been a little tougher on the administration? Now, honestly, that's pretty compelling television. But in the end, it was not enough. The guy you just saw was fired for low ratings.
Ese primer presentador era el señor John Seigenthaler, que por cierto no está retirado. Es verdad que le echaron de la MSNBC, pero ahora está en Al Jazeera, que no sé si es mejor o peor.
He was replaced by an emotionally stunted, agoraphobic baseball card collector who wore mom jeans to the office and wrote florid scripts with too many adjectives. Mr. Keith Olbermann, ladies and gentlemen, and keep in mind the L is silent. But it was too volatile an arrangement to last, and before long, the network's top star took his mom jeans and went back to his Honus Wagner cards in his sad Midtown apartment.
Keith Olbermann fue un intento de la MSNBC de hacer el antagónico del líder de la derecha mediática de aquel momento, que era Bill O'Reilly. Entonces digamos que Olbermann buscaba ser un contrapeso. Nunca consiguió ni por asomo acercarse a la audiencia que tenía O'Reilly en Fox, y después intentó montar... Olbermann se fue con Al Gore, intentó montar una especie de radio de izquierdas, no salió bien y ha quedado ya más bien olvidado.
But MSNBC itself remained, and its evolution continued. Like puppies, all TV networks are cute when they're little. The problem is you never know what they're going to grow up to become. So what is that MSNBC now? Well, effectively, it's the Hutu radio network, ginning up race fear to mobilize the militias. Here's the channel's new lead anchor screaming once again about those diabolical white people.
And so here we are again, with conservatism, at least among a certain cohort of white guys, now rooting itself in the idea that even during a pandemic, These screaming men and women have the God-given right to get their roots done and order a steak at the restaurant and hit the golf course and the bar, and that those rights, which they claim were conferred upon them by God, require a disproportionately black and brown labor force to return to work, get back on the wheel, and risk death in order to serve them and return them to their comfortable lives.
Broadcasting that crap 24 hours a day. Shades of Kilgally 94. We regret to inform you that tomorrow we'll be killed with our families. It's pretty ugly, but we're going to rise above it tonight and wish the woman you just saw, the race lady, along with Jeb Bush's former flack, the Rachel Maddow impersonator, and most sincerely Rachel Maddow herself, a very happy birthday. And we're going to do it with maximum cultural imperialism. As the Irish say on occasions like this, may your life be full of gladness and health, and your pocket full of gold as the least of your wealth. May the dreams you hold dear be the ones that come true. May all the kindness you spread keep coming back to you. Happy birthday, MSNBC.
Lo de decir felicidades de corazón a la vez que les llamas basura es algo que solo se puede hacer en los países donde hay mucho cariño entre medios de comunicación. Digamos que el ranking de los países donde hay más amor entre medios, el número 1 sería Argentina, el número 2 Estados Unidos, el número 3 España. Yo creo que más o menos ese sería el ranking. La señora que hacía el alegato contra los blancos, la señora Reid, es la que acaba de reemplazar a Chris Matthew como comentarista estrella de esa franja. La verdad es que el señor Chris Matthew era un tipo bastante divertido, era el que comparó a Donald Trump con Hitler, pero tuvo que dimitir porque digamos que se apuntó a una moda que estuvo muy presente en Estados Unidos hace relativamente poco tiempo de ser muy piropeador y quizá tener las manos demasiado largas.
Let me start with my headline tonight. I'm retiring. This is the last hardball on MSNBC, and obviously this isn't for lack of interest in politics. As you can tell, I've loved every minute of my 20 years as host of Hardball. Compliments on a woman's appearance that some men, including me, might have once incorrectly thought were okay. We're never okay. Not then and certainly not today. And for making such comments in the past, I'm sorry.
Bueno, pues felicidades a la MSNBC que cumple 25 años. En octubre Fox News cumplirá también 25 años. Me pregunto si entonces alguien de la MSNBC dirá: señores de la Fox, felicidades, 25 años, pedazo de fachas, o algo así, para un poco equilibrar. Solo recordar una última cosa al respecto. Es verdad que son el grupo que más leña ha dado al señor Donald Trump, pero también es cierto que Donald Trump trabajó para ellos, porque cuando Donald Trump hacía su reality del aprendiz, lo hacía en la NBC, que es la cadena generalista del grupo Comcast. Y de hecho, el director entonces de la NBC es el que ahora dirige la CNN, que es el otro medio archienemigo del señor Trump. Con lo cual, esto es una historia entre ex-colegis.
Bad. I think they're very bad for our country. The owners of Comcast, rotten company, bad for our country, very bad. They try, you know, they have all these PR things to try and keep their image nice and clean. What they do on television is so disgusting. I think in the old days you had to have licenses for this stuff, right? They can say whatever they want to say. Let's see what happens over the next period of time. Bunch of dishonest people. Comcast, terrible company, terrible people running that company. And you know what? I had Celebrity Apprentice. I had The Apprentice on for 14 seasons. 14 seasons. And they used to come to my office and they would kiss my ass. Please sign. Please sign. Please. Please sign. You know, it's an interesting story. They came and we signed. You know who signed me? Jeff Zucker. It's one of the only things he's done good in broadcasting.
Que, por cierto, el señor Carlson ha sido suave en una cosa, porque si le quieres meter el dedo en el ojo a la MSNBC, no debes citar al señor Keith Olbermann o al señor Seigenthaler. Debes citar el nombre que seguramente la MSNBC, que también es propietaria de los estudios Universal, más querrá olvidar. Harvey Weinstein.
But it's not just Weinstein who should be on trial. For decades, powerful figures in the media and entertainment industries chose to ignore or cover up his evil. Before the New York Times blew the cover off it all on October the 5th, 2017, Investigative journalist Ronan Farrow had been working on his own expose of Harvey Weinstein that was meticulously researched and corroborated by several of Weinstein's victims. He was working on this for NBC News, but instead of airing what would later turn out to be a Pulitzer Prize-winning story, the network tried to prevent it from ever seeing the light of day. Thanks to Ronan Farrow's subsequent book, Catch and Kill, we now know that NBC News is run by people who actively worked to keep Harvey Weinstein's crimes a secret. Let's take a look at some other NBC executives. This is Steve Burke, CEO of NBC Universal. A former member of Weinstein's staff said that Burke was, quote, in Weinstein's pocket. This is Brian Roberts, CEO of Comcast, NBC's parent company. He described his friendship with Weinstein as a joy. In a past interview, when asked about Weinstein's reputation as a bully, Roberts said, I don't personally get put off by all these Hollywoodisms. I think he's like a teddy bear. What?